Okay, I think I finally got everything situated again, back to normal. Maybe. At least have some semblance of normal again. Not 100% certain. Alrighty. Gotta double check some things before I do anything. Hey, Dran, how you doing? Uh, Actually, I guess I can go ahead and just move that over. As my neck breaks itself, because I actually don't know how much the turning radius is on this thing. New phone. When you get a new phone that allows you to do crazy things. So my day's been stressful, at least for today, and it's going to be stressful on Tuesday. Finally got some sleep. Well, that's good. I've been working my butt off. Is the only reason why I haven't been streaming, and I've finally figured out when I'm going to stream and how I'm going to do it. From now on, pretty much, I'm going to try and keep streaming from 5 to 10. If I go a little bit earlier or a little bit later, that's up to me. But we're going to stream 5 hours a day, pretty much every day except for like Monday and Friday. And probably Sunday. Sundays I might do a little bit later, and sometimes on holidays we might do later too. I'll have to just see. I want to try to get a decent amount of progress done, and I think doing 5 hour streams is actually going to be beneficial anyway, especially since I'm already working at least 8 hours beforehand. So I was doing the math. Actually, let me pull out a calculator real quick. There are 7 days in a week, 4 hours. Oh, actually, I should technically be doing minus the hours that I'm not awake. Subtract 40 already. Well, I could get another 40 hours in. Oh, hang on. Minus 48. Okay. Actually, I did the math wrong. Subtract 40 for how many I work. That's including other days. So I need to subtract what? 32 hours? Okay, so I can actually do a pretty significant amount of hours just doing this at least how I want to do it. Maybe. We'll see. Sundays will definitely end up being longer days, and Sundays will probably end up being the days that I just play games. Um, in general. But from now on, I think we're going to just go ahead and start getting back into coding more things. Sadly, all of the progress that I had from anything else, besides I need to relearn Godot anyway. I haven't used it enough. So I am literally in the middle of like trying to relearn everything. So don't have FF14. I haven't even. I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't played FF14 since I finished the main scenario, the of 7.0. I have not played it since then. I should probably play it. Maybe I'll get back into it at some point. But right now I'm a bit burnt out, and I'm only keeping the sub and logging in every once in a while to keep the house that I have, because I'm just. I know I'll get back into it. It's just gonna take me a while. Honestly, I might end up going over to World of Warcraft for a little bit and see what the story is over there, but I don't think I'm going to do that on stream. I think I'll do that off stream. Alrighty. Let's see here. I really don't want to use the OneDrive folder. I have no choice but to use that one. New folder. Oh yeah, I know a lot of people haven't really enjoyed the 7. I don't know how well it is. I haven't played it, so I really don't know. I guess I'll go ahead and give my opinion on it. It's not bad. It's just, of course, we're coming from a lull, and they have to rebuild the story up. So hopefully, any new players that come in will actually enjoy it. But the issue is that it's literally coming from an expansion that was the end of another one. Like, that was the end of the primary story. And I just don't know what we have right now going on. So I've just been kind of doing other things and trying to keep all that situated. So, all right, let's go ahead and at least get this created. Trying to get everything situated so that I'm not having to do this over again. Alrighty. Now at the moment of how do I do this again? Okay, I need to go ahead and nope, wrong one. That one. There we go. So we got Godot back up and running. The current patch has very good story potential for later. Yeah, I know that. It's just I know a lot of people weren't enjoying 7.0, and I'm like, that's because we're not the main character in 7.0. I don't know if we're the main character in 7.1, 2, and I think we're at 3.5 now, or 0.35. I don't know. I was looking at it earlier. I don't know what we're at the moment. I do know World of Warcraft also has some decent story beats going on right now too, so I actually do want to play that at some point. I'm not gonna play FF14 on stream. At least not the story, mainly because I don't wanna spoil it for anybody who happens to be brand new and doesn't know anything about the game. Because that's a story that you really should do on your own. I really should get back into doing some randomizers, but we'll get to that at a different date. I think for context, I believe tomorrow we are going to do some Hollow Knight. I'm going to try to finish up Hollow Knight tomorrow. See what I can do. Okay. Let me think here. Probably gonna need something, but we'll see. I'm trying to literally remember how to do this, and my brain's just not computing at the moment. We need it on the 2D because we're not going to be making any 3D games anytime soon. I'm not that good at 3D games, and I'm really not that good at really any form of art. So this is going to be programmer art galore. Trying to remember what all I need to do in order to get this done. Well, I guess first we can go ahead and start getting a 2D scene going. Gotta remember I've got to remember what we got to do here. This is the only issue when I have not coded in a while, so I am extremely rusty, and I have forgotten nearly everything. Yay! Well, Starter stuff was actually pretty good. I heard that. It was actually pretty good. Okay, what do I need? I need something. I'm trying to remember what I need, and I don't remember what I need. Okay, I need a character body. Right? Oh, God. Not remembering anything is always... excuse me. Character body needs a collision shape. Add child node. It needs a collision shape. I'll go collision shape 2D. It's gonna give a detection shape to an area 2D and physics body 2D into a solid object. Yeah, we'll do that. And then the collision needs a different node. It needs a collision node? No, it needs an area node. What does this thing need again? It's not a 2D node. What is it? What node is it? I also don't know how well my audio. Oh, my audio is actually coming in pretty well, so it doesn't really matter. I'm trying not to yell. Mainly because we're not here to yell. We're here to enjoy things. Which node is a collision object? Physics. Static body? Rigid body? No, it's not that one. It's collision shape, isn't it? It's not that. It's not that. Where is it? Where's the thing I'm looking for? Because I'm honestly not certain where it is. What node is it that I needed again? Please. Oh, I need to create a shape for it. Right. Now we'll do a rectangle. That'll make it easier. We also need to add a sprite node. Sprite 2D. We need a texture of some kind. Could just create one right off the bat here, or I could go into a sprite and create one. Because it does have animation. Since I'm really just using this for testing purposes anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and create a new just square image and literally just make it a square because it's just the easiest thing to do. I know it's funny that I every single time that I do this, I end up making a red square, or actually, we'll make it a blue square for the player character. I know I end up usually doing this, but it's just because it's the easiest thing to do for me. Ooh, wrong color. Oh, dang it. I keep messing this up. Pencils. There. Oh, you guys couldn't see that. I've got it over here. I sometimes forget that you guys can't see everything. Export as. Uh-oh. Oh, it's right there. Also been playing Borderlands 4 in the new Sonic racing game. Yeah, I haven't really been getting too much on any of that, so that's just an issue with everything. Okay, I need to change the location. Give me one moment. I gotta move this over so that yeah, we'll just override that. Alrighty. And then I need to go to the location of that file. And yep, it's just a blue square. Just makes it easier when it's just a blue square. Makes it easier to judge where everything is, and we can spread it out. And there. But actually pretty good so far. Yeah. I think the only new game that I've played recently is Mario Kart World. And I'll say this, it's an okay game. It's not the greatest game in the world. Could be better. Oh. Oh. That needs to go there. Oh, God. Okay. I was wondering what was going on. Apparently I had that a little too big. Either that or I'm not small enough, which is possible. Anyway, I need to stop breaking my neck. I need to go in and change some of the settings around because I think what it is that my model has too much sway. Let me see here. Let me see if I can actually fix that. Because it seems to just have too much sway to the right when it doesn't need that much sway to the right. Is it movement range? Increasing it? And oh, that's what it's doing. Hang on. Which one is it? Oh, it's the rotation. The rotation's like stupidly high for some reason. Go with 1.0. Okay, that's a little bit better. Move the mic to a better location. Change head tilt so it's not nearly as... I'm just reducing the ranges because everything's just been so hectic. Okay, now all that's fixed. And you guys got to see all of it, so... That's the program that I use. If you're ever wondering. Okay, I think I screwed this up already. Now the only thing I need to do is just add a script to this. I'll just go ahead and create the character body script. Didn't the character body script already have built-in script? Some of the time it can be edited using an external and can't be edited using an external editor. Hmm. Okay. I'm gonna have to go through and remember what all the frickin' what everything is. Let's see here. You know what? We'll move this to over here. And we'll shrink it down just a little bit so that I can still see chat. Oh, I need to turn off all the sounds in my browser. Let me turn my sounds off in my browser. Maybe. Let's see here. We need to go to good. I'm on 4.1, I believe. What version am I on? Does it tell me? Does it tell me which version I'm running? Crud. Save for now. What? Which version am I using? Which version of Godot am I using so I can pull up the right... Oh. I don't know why I just didn't click the online docs button. Maybe... Okay, so we're on the 4.5 branch. Okay. Let's see here. Let's just go coding a player, because this will just be easier, so I can actually remember what this does. Is it raining? I think it's raining. We'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I am back. Okay, back to things. What am I doing again? Syntax that provides the tightest integration with Godot. Okay. You'll have to excuse me. I'm having to read everything because it's been a while since I've done anything inside of Godot. And I gotta relearn GD script, which is what we're learning, which is what I'm learning right now. Hmm.
Let's see here.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm. Okay.
Let's just look at the manual real quick.
Hmm. Hmm.
There we go.
Well, if anything, I'm probably just gonna screw this up, but let's try it. We need some parameters. I'm trying to remember which parameters we need for this node specifically.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so that's with signals. That'll be useful to know. Um. Hmm. Hmm.
Let's just go ahead and...
Let's just go ahead and start going with what the tutorial has for us real quick, just so that I can kind of get an idea again what it is that I need to do.
You can use that function.
Hmm. Hmm. Oh, right. Func.
Need a function.
Okay.
Good to know.
Hmm.
Oh, this goes inside. Okay. Hmm. Let's see here.
Oh, I forgot you guys can actually see when people go live. Oops. Let me turn off my Steam overlay. Or at least just turn off my notifications. There we go. Just turning off. Okay.
Got that back up and running. Let's see here.
Hmm. Okay. Hmm.
Direction equals 1. And then rotation plus equals underscore speed times direction times delta.
I believe delta is just required so that we can always get access to everything. Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
is action
Action. Oh, not is action just pressed. It's is action pressed. Same with this one. I know. Equals 2 dot up dot rotated rotation. Multiply that by speed, which we don't have. Nope. Oh, I don't think it's called speed. No, it is called speed. We do have a speed. Yeah. Oh. That's supposed to be equals. Equals, not minus. Fixed. Let's go ahead and save. Okay. Is something wrong? What are they wrong? Oh. Is shadowing an already declared property in the base class? Whoa. Okay. Got that working. Somewhat. Got it working a little bit more as intended. This is at least a good idea of how to actually get things going. Um. Hmm. Now I need to remember how to apply gravity. Okay. So, I need physics. Physics is the one thing that... Hmm. Hmm. Button. Could just add a button. Hmm. Hmm.
Local variable velocity shadowing an already declared property in the base class.
Hmm. Interesting. I don't know what's causing that. Hmm. 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 Still trying to fully figure this all out because it's just, again, it's been a while since I've actually done this. So I'm trying to remember what the physics applications are. Hmm. Yay, bitwise functions. Hmm. 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 I know this stream's probably a little bit more boring than expected, but I'm trying to like actually figure out everything. Pretty much I'm trying to learn everything all at once, even though I really shouldn't. I should have probably read some of this up before going live. Oh well. Hmm. I will be trying to make sure that I take breaks during stream whenever the whatchamacallit comes up. I'll probably end up clearing this and we'll figure out what we could do here. Hmm. Hmm. Hey, Lawrence, how you doing? I'm just relearning how to code in Godot script, or GD script to be specific, as well as fixing some things that I know for certain that I've probably gotten wrong. Hmm. This seems simple enough. Should have remembered that was a physics process. Because I forgot that I needed. The only issue is I'm trying to remember how we were supposed to actually do this, and I think I've already mucked it up. Mighty tired after working in a graveyard, but at least I am back. Well, yeah. I mean, working in the graveyard's not the greatest in the world. Neither is neither is delivering letters and packages. Nearly every single door. Let's see here. Why did I not? Why? How did I just forget that this is literally all that I needed in order to get this freaking working? Why am I so stupid? True. I'm beyond stupid. The only issue with this is I don't think I've got any way of detecting when the character goes off of the windows. So this is probably just gonna be a bit different. Oh, not, as soon as I find the right freaking thing, we're about to have an ad break. Ah! Uh, so we will be finishing. We will be going, Twitch. Although I should definitely recover it for drops later. Well, do note that I pause on Twitch, and then we pause the stream whenever Twitch happens, so nothing will actually get done. But I will probably end up discussing, so there'll be a little bit of exclusive content to YouTube, and it's now on Twitch. So we'll go ahead and take a little bit of a break on Twitch's side, and we'll figure some stuff out. This will actually give me a little bit of time to read some of this stuff up. Well, while we wait for Twitch to come back to us, we'll go ahead and do that, and then do that. Oh, I just realized that freaking that's what's happening. I gotta fix that. I gotta fix that. Oh, come on. None of that. Okay, a little bit better. Always got to get things situated and all that. There it goes. There's the ad break. There's the actual ad break. I was wondering when that was gonna. Oh, I just realized I screwed something up. I guess I do technically need that on. So, okay, things are just breaking. It's probably where I have the camera situated is what's causing it to break like it is. Oh, it's because I got a hair there. So things are just breaking, probably because I haven't fixed. Yeah, I haven't gotten I haven't messed with my tracking software in a while, so everything is kind of broken. So I gotta go through and fix it because it seems to be changing everything a lot more. Because I also have a new phone which has a better camera associated with it, so it's actually causing probably a few more problems than expected. As well as some other things, but we won't go there. Oh. Hmm. 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 That 3D models can have issues due to small. It's the issue with like a lot of. I have to fine tune some things because everything's kind of set to the default, which was useful for my old phone, but with my new phone, it now makes everything more exaggerated than it used to be. So I gotta go fix that. But yeah, but no, no. On YouTube, we just kind of discuss some things while on Twitch we wait for the ad break to finish. Mainly so that people on Twitch don't end up missing anything. I guess while I'm here, I can go ahead and Control S and save all the progress that I've just made. But yeah, the 3D models always have a lot more. I wouldn't say problems. They just have a little bit more quirks than probably a 2D model does. I know they have. So the simplest of models is the PNG model, which you can easily have set up easily. The next complicated is a 2D model. Actually, I take that back. I would say that 2D and 3D both have complications, but they're different and they don't necessarily do the same thing. So, go ahead and get back to doing all this. But, action underscore pressed. What are these warnings doing? Nope, not yet. We're fixing that. Left. And then I think the last variable is variable jump, which equals input dot is action just pressed. Visually, vastly different. It's just that people more often want a full-fledged 3D model over a 2D model, so it kind of fit. Well, there are things that you can do with a 3D model that you can't do with a 2D model, and there's things that you can do with a 2D model that you can't do with a 3D model. 2D models also don't require full sculpting. They just require an image to be broken down into parts. From last time I remember, I think it's UI select. I was reading that correctly. Okay. No longer in that function. Yeah, I was right. I guess if is underscore on floor is and jump, which considers a floor. We get velocity dot y equal dot y equals jump speed. Although, in retrospect, your cheapest option is going to be a PNG. Technically, your cheapest option is literally just going live and being a hollow voice, which honestly a lot of YouTubers still do, and I commemorate them for that. Although many people will probably just say that VTubing is that, but with extra steps, and it really is. This is minus equals. Oh, that makes sense. Physics underscore process delta velocity.y plus equals gravity multiplied by delta. And then delta. And then we get underscore input and move underscore and underscore slide. I have a feeling that all this is going to do is this is just going to cause an issue. I have no more errors. No, I do have errors. Set a variable name after var. Where? I'm confused. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Whoops. Oh, close that. Oopsies. Then either a hollow voice or just an image in the corner more often than expected. Yeah. Technically, what you could do is the cheapest option and the least resource intensive is just for streaming and or video making is literally hit record, discuss what you want to discuss, or do what you want to do. Next up would I guess be the image in the bottom right hand corner, and then it would be reactive image, and then it's a toss up between if it's 2D model or 3D model. Many people probably get a reactive image that they're going to probably turn into a 2D model at some point, or have as a reference image, part of a reference image for a 3D model. Maybe I'm not 100% certain. 3D models are really hard to do because you need front, side, and back. With 2D, you really just need the front. You might need a side view. You probably could get away with not having a back for 3D models, but I don't know how it would just be a flat plane at that point. And depending on some specific things, it might end up doing weird things. I believe if I push play, I'm just going to fall endlessly. I was correct. I need to clamp. I need to clamp the player. What do I need to do? I need to plant the. I need to clamp. More people either have a 2 sprite image or just skip to 3D model. Well, that's because. So, that's because a 3D model is actually a lot easier to make than expected. You can make a the Vroid model, which is the easiest option to do. It just doesn't have all of the same like customization options that like learning Blender would. But many of the people that I know start off with a. Some people actually start off with a 3D model and then they went to a 2D model. They had a very simple 2D model, a 3D model, and then they went on to a more rigged 2D model. And then they upgraded that, and then at some point they went with a full customized 3D model. And then they swapped between the two. I mean, I think I've got the other model on here somewhere. Maybe. That model might be broken. I may need to get rid of that redeem because I don't know if that model has been re-downloaded. Oh, I may not even have it anymore. Ah, crud. Oh, well. Yeah, I may not even have that model anymore now that I think about it. I have no floor. This is a problem. I have a problem. We have no floor. So I need to make a floor. Easiest way to make a floor in Godot. Add child node. Could add tile maps. We could do the tile mapping. Do a tile map. It's marked as deprecated. I think we use the tile map layer. I think we could just go back to an area 2D. We could do an area 2D, and then we give it a collision shape. Collision, physics body, static. Oh, I did wrong. I did wrong. I did wrong. I did the wrong thing. Node, add child node, collision shape, physics body, static. And then we add a collision shape, add, no, cancel, it's over here. No, collision shape. Add, 2D, collision. No, that's collision object, need collision shape, 2D. Great. And then we need to make a shape, which we're just going to do world boundary shape. And then we're going to move this. Just move it all the way down there, and that should, in theory, keep things from colliding. I might have to do some form of differences, but we'll see. Let's see what happens. It works! Whoa! Speedy Gonzalez. I think he's a bit too fast. Either that or the window size is too small. I don't know which one it would be. Well, let's go ahead and make some more of these. I'm actually gonna move the character over. Yeah, the collision shape. Fuck, hang on. Make sure the collision and the player are on the same frickin' thing. What's this node? I don't know why that node's there. Interesting. Mach 10 rushes for beer speed. Yeah. Make sure to save. We're gonna name this the floor. That way I know what that is. Add child, and we're gonna make some walls. Collision shape, physics body, static body. We're then gonna give it the world boundary collision shape again. 2D node, collision shape. We're then going to make another world boundary, and then we're going to rotate the world boundary. And then we're going to rename this to left wall, and then we're literally just going to do this. We're just going to copy and paste and rename this to right wall and go put it over on the other side and flip it horizontally. Wee. Oops. Give me this one. No! Stop moving that. Oh, I have... Oh, crap. There we go. Why do we have... line? I can then... Okay, there we go. Oh, crap. Don't tell me that. No, just the other. Oh, is it because I copied this? Is that what's happened? Yeah, crap. That's what I get for doing things fast. Fine, we'll do it the hard way. We'll do it the other way. Static body. Add. Collision shape. And create another world boundary. I think I could do this with code as well, or any other means I see fit. But how far can I zoom in? No, I guess it really doesn't matter. That over there. And then we rotate. And then we move this up so I can actually make sure I'm lined up correctly. Right wall. Oh, right. Well, I have officially made a box. This. Oh, dang, this feels like Super Meat Boy speed. The jump actually feels nice. It's just that the speed is too fast. Speed's too fast. Speed too fast. Oh, no wonder it's 350. We need to change it to like 150. Containment created, yes. Still kind of fast. Oh, I gotta save. Duh. Nope, it's still kind of fast. Why is it so fast? Why is the player character so fast? Oh, it's actually got actual acceleration attached to it. It's not a static speed. That's an addition. It's actually doing velocity. I'm dumb. It's doing speed times It's doing speed times distance. Wait. I don't remember velocity. I took physics and now I don't remember what the freaking formula for velocity is. It does math. It's doing math. It's not the consistent. It's literally like, I guess one way to find out just how fast this guy can go. Yep. It has acceleration. Because this is one. This is accelerating. It's just getting faster. It's not a constant speed. That explains why it felt so off, is because it's not a constant speed. I thought there was a way to make it a constant speed. I think there is a way to make it a constant speed, and the issue is that instead of doing it the way that we have it, we actually have to do... What is it? Oh, because it's doing plus equals run speed. We could just do equals run speed. Oh, then it would be an instantaneous burst of speed. Let's see what happens when we do that. Wait, no. We can't. We could. See what happens when we just do that. Oh, this one still needs to be negative. Oh, crap. I forgot I can't use the numpad. Forgot I can't use the numpad. That's going to be a problem. Hmm. Never mind. I guess we technically could. I mean, we could do it to where instead we just do equals 100 and then equals negative 100. Well, actually, I know what we can do. We can do equals run speed, and then we can do run, and we can do equals 0 minus run speed. I did it again. Hang on. I might need to turn those toggles off. Not gonna lie. Let's see if this math feels better than the other math. Okay, so 100 is slow. Oh. Oh. I see. I see. Um... Is it dot X? Does it not know what else? Oh. Keep that. Hmm. I can go left, but I can't go right. Why can I not go right? Hmm. Okay. That way they're at the edge so I can actually figure out what's going on here. That's because velocity is set to a number. Because this is, the more we hold this down, it increases the speed. Number or range, although I'm not a coder and only saying that. What's logic? I could do that. I could limit. There's a way to limit. Oh, I just noticed. There's no way to go back to 0 because there's no 0 here. Oh, I know why. Because I'm missing a variable. That explains why it's so frickin' fast. Okay, back to what this number used to be. Now I understand why. That's better. Much better. Although now I feel slow. Oh god. You were right. I just put in the wrong. I forgot a variable. When you forget a variable in one specific spot, things go wrong very easily. Let's move. That's moving all right. Yeah, now he's actually can move, and it's not just It's not a he constantly gets. It's not like he's in space and he constantly gets a boost of speed. Although we could technically make a game. I could technically make a game like that where you're in the vacuum of space and whichever direction you push pushes you in that direction consistently. Hmm. Could do it. Could do that. I need the camera to follow this guy. Let's make a camera node. Agile node. Camera, camera, camera. Where is the mother freaking camera? Camera. Okay. So now the can't. It should. Oh, it would help. Um. Oh, it would help if the camera was actually in the right spot. Nope, that's right wall. I need camera. Camera! Oh, crap. Oh, crap. God dang. Just give me the camera. There we go. I got the camera back! Okay, now that the camera's centered on the target, we should be fine. And now we move everything back to where it was. Which is 0, 0. So everything's positioned back to 0, 0. That's supposed to not be in... It's that one. Oh. That's weird. Nope, I broke something. What did I break? I translated this by accident. Fuck. Yeah. Hang on. There we go. Damn it. There we go. Okay. The only issue is we now can't tell where the walls are because the walls aren't colored. So let's just get another sprite. Let's get some sprites going on and let's just make them blue. Because we can. That way we at least have some form of reference. That's the only issue is we don't have a reference right now because it's just a gray void. It's the gray void of nothingness. Where the heck is... There it is. Bright 2D. I don't know why I'm looking over it. Just load that. Actually, that's not what I wanted. So effectively does the exact same thing, but... Oh, I keep using the wrong buttons. Does this do the same thing? No, it does not. I need to move it over by a pixel. Damn it. There we go. I'm really just using this to kind of learn how physics and all that works. And I'm honestly just using floor, left wall, and right wall as just like constants to kind of figure out how collisions work in the engine. And this is if we were making a 2D platform. If we're making something like a top-down RPG, we would change how we would do this. I think it's actually just an immediate change the script out. We could do up, down, and then instead of is on floor and jump, you would just do velocity dot y. You would also need a velocity dot y equals 0. Learn to have a yeah, learn to have a constant. Let's change some things around. We're gonna not actually this is gonna be funny. We're not gonna need gravity anymore. So gravity is gonna be no longer required. Gravity no longer required. Why is this giving me an error? Oh, do we not need delta in this? Void. Can't be a void. Can't be void. Can I set it to 0? Expected parameter name. Actually, we don't need physics process. We just need process. And it's still afloat. Can I set it to 0? Fuck. Yeah, we're not going to need gravity for what I'm about to do. We're going to change jump speed. We're actually just going to change run speed to speed. And we're going to get rid of the jump speed. Speed is just speed. Welcome to speed. Yeah. This also needs to be changed to that. Whoa. Okay. I was not expecting... Oh. Would help if I have the same variable on the y-axis. Yay! Oh, I forgot. These need to be reversed. Oops. This needs to be positive, and this needs to be negative. Negative. There we go. Now it's much better. Yeah. Oh no, we can leave the roof. But, yeah, that's an easy way of doing things. And then we can make a ceiling if we wanted to, but really no need. Um, hmm. Yeah. We can easily breach the containment. Breaching the containment's not hard. Um, but this would be something for like a... You could easily do... Well, it's not... It's not the best in the world because it's not tile-based movement. I actually don't know if you could do tile-based movement in... I guess you probably could. I don't actually know if you could do tile-based movement in Godot. There's probably a way to do it. I just don't know how you would do tile. I guess you would. How would one do tile-based movement in Godot? I guess the easiest thing to do would be to, well, I guess have a consistent speed. And oh, actually, I know how to do tile-based movement. It's called. It's a difference. It's the difference between is action just pressed. Because if we do just pressed, we get tile-based movement. The only issue with this is that it only moves it once. So there's probably a way to do it in full. It's probably based on you would have your tiles equivalent to the speed, and the speed's in pixels per second. So you probably could just lower the which is probably why this character feels kind of fast. We also don't have any tiles to kind of dictate, because I don't actually think there's a way to get an in-between. Yeah, this is actually tile-based movement. Yeah, because I don't think there's a way to get exact. You know what? There is one game that that seems simple, requires this exact setup, but I got to figure out what the parameter is to make it. And if you're wondering, I'm trying to figure out, is it just we just lose the constants? You know what? I think it's we lose the constants. We lose the constants. That one. That one. And then instead, we have these as 0 minus... I did it again! Plus, that way we can get that going. 0 minus... Nope, that's plus. Velocity.x equals 0. Velocity.x equals 0. Velocity.y equals 0. Not 9, 0. And velocity.y equals 0. And if you're wondering what I am doing, it will make sense in a little bit. Aha, there's the movement I was looking for. This type of movement should look familiar. Oops. If you've played a really old game on really old phones, you know exactly what type of movement this is. I need to see if... Oops. I guess I do need a roof now. Back to the scene. Child node. Another move of moving like an arcade game after 5 hours. Yeah. We need a static body. We need a collision shape. And we need it to be a world boundary. And then all we're going to do is we're just going to flip it. And rename it to ceiling. Yay! I guess the only thing is that I should make it to where you can't go the opposite direction immediately, because that might cause problems. Hmm. Hmm. I guess the only way to do that is to test. Oh, I can do if up and velocity dot x is equal to 0. Equal 0. It needs to be equal 0. No, it's velocity y. Y. I guess technically when you hit... I guess if velocity x and... I guess what you would need to do is that you would need to set a flag... Oh, I could do that. Hang on. Make another variable. Var flag equals false. I don't know if this will work. Keep forgetting it's equals. And flag true. End. What's the... Is it just quit? What's the... I wonder... What's Godot's end process? End. Quit. Exit. Shut down. I guess I could just send a crash report. I guess I could just crash. That would end it, but I don't want to do a crash. Um... Hmm. Oh, they just get tree quit? I could just do that. What am I doing? Just do get tree quit. Hey, that worked. Yay, look at that. Ugh. So if you're under the walls, you just die. Technically it's probably not best to do it that way, but that's one way of doing it. Yeah. Um, I guess now we could send in objects that could potentially stop you if we ran into them. I need to remember how to do the randomization process again. Hmm. Okay. Um, Man, this works as I was actually expecting it, and this is without me realizing everything. And it's one easy way to do. Oh my god, that's tight. That's we might do that. We might do this with a little slower speed. Let's try 300. 300 might be a slower speed. Ooh. I know what I need to do. I need to get the project. I need to get this because we're doing it based off of screen size. It could be a problem. Um. Hmm. So the screen size is actually becoming the issue here. Because if I were to change the screen size in project settings, and we go to rendering. All right, where is it? It's window. The window viewport is this big. Um, with a 1.0 scale. Um, Technically, we have the walls set up in a specific way, which is we have them set up to be in a very not so fun distance from each other. And what we could do is we could do a like cycling, and I guess you could do like a cycling process where each flash of I guess we could set code up to where we flash the sprite, and when the sprite is true, when the sprite is being viewable, is visible. Because if we turn the visibility off, it turns it off, if I remember correctly. Yeah. The sprite is visible, which is this is a variable that we can actually we can turn on and off, and we can see if it's true or not. And we can do that every frame or every other frame. We would need to lower the FPS of the game to significantly lower levels. Because there's nothing we could do if we don't do that. Hmm. Ugh. Hmm. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah. The speed's got to be a specific speed, set speed, where it's fast enough to where it's not like detrimental, but you can also like do these tight corners as well without accidentally running into the wall. And that's the main thing, and I'm trying to make it a little bit easier to do that. We will actually be taking an actual break once this next ad comes up. You know, I'm just going to go ahead and pause stream. I'll be back. Alrighty. I am back. I also have food, so I'm actually going to be kind of taking a little bit of a lunch break or a dinner break. So what I'm actually going to do is we're going to do this. We're going to go back to that. Turn that off. I'm going to click that button. And I'm going to go ahead and do this. Text. I don't have a text one yet. Oh, you guys are actually seeing all that. Okay. Alrighty. We got that that situated. Alrighty. How's everybody's day been going so far? I assume it's actually been going well. I mean, it is Saturday, so some people were probably off. It's like I know what I'm doing tomorrow. Yeah. Looks like I'm gonna go to the store tomorrow. Yay! I gotta go buy drinks. I'm out of drinks. I wonder who's got drinks on sale. And what drinks are on sale. Come on! Ah! But no, I work today. So today I may not be going for much longer. We might cut it at 3 hours. Only because I really need to do some more studying of things and to really understand what's going on underneath the hood. Because I only somewhat understand what's going on underneath the hood, and honestly, I should have done this before, but I got lazy. Anyone have anything interesting happen today? Because my day has been I guess I could mention that it was a lot longer than usual because I had to deliver like over 1,000 pieces of mail. That was a lot. Which I saw the route that I was doing. I think it's like on average like 1.3. No, I think it was 2 letters per box. I think there's only like 600. Well, no, it's probably like 1.8 letters per box. On the route. Or per address, technically. Because I think there were some addresses that I just didn't know if they actually were vacant or not. So everyone, I now work for the USPS, United States Postal Service, and I'm effectively a mailman. But I'm right now running the mail for like 4 different routes on different days. So that's what I've been doing, which is why I've been so dreadfully exhausted. Is because yeah, is because sometimes I get to work a normal shift, and then sometimes I have to work a 12-hour shift, and sometimes I got to work. Technically, I would work like a 13-hour shift, but we won't go there because I actually get in there early so I can get packages done early because we get Amazon. And Amazon was freaking rough these last few days. Like, people ordering gigantic packages and having no way of really getting them to them because we don't because the post office that I work at doesn't have vehicles. We have to it's BYOV bring your own vehicle. So and that's our only option right now. I think we're planning on getting a vehicle for one of the routes, but I'm not 100% certain. I don't know. But yeah. So I know a lot of people in like excuse me, will know that if you live in the United States, actually I guess I can kind of show this. So if you live in the United States, you're probably familiar with what's known as the Grumman Long Life Vehicle, which is the vehicle that has been in use since I think it's like 1986. Yeah, it's been in service since 1986, and it is poorly inefficient in gas. It gets like 9 miles to the gallon. Or if, honestly, I don't even know if the mail truck is actually in movies or not. I don't think it usually is. Which surprises me because you would think that the mail truck would be in a lot more movies than it is. But at least if they're based in the US. But the Postal Service has two different types of routes. They have city routes and rural routes. Rural routes, you might have to use your own vehicle. A good few of them you have to use your own vehicle only because some of the areas you go to, the LLV is not capable of going into, such as I wouldn't say inclement weather, but roads that are not necessarily well maintained, extremely well maintained, and may require access to four-wheel drive because the LLV does not have the capabilities of going real four-wheel drive. Or all-wheel drive, I should say. So I actually don't think the postal vehicle is even in Alaska. I don't know if it is in Alaska. I have no idea. I actually don't know if there's any postal vehicles in Alaska. That's something that I'm not too familiar with, if there is or isn't any. I would assume, but no. But but right now we're USPS is looking for another vehicle. Well, another vehicle is in development, and hopefully it'll actually work for a while, so we don't have to worry about anything. But I believe, and I'll just state this, I believe the fat electrician has a much better explanation of the United States Postal Service and why we've been trying to get another vehicle for a while now. Mainly because of all that as well. Um, just a note, if you didn't know, the U.S. Postal Service is not meant to make money. At least not anymore. Does not make money. At least it's not supposed to. Supposed to just break even. And being a postal carrier isn't for everyone, mainly because it is a strenuous job. You are working with people's name and addresses all the time. You're working with disgruntled customers who think all that as well. If you didn't know, just a FYI, um, sticking anything in anyone's mailboxes that's not yours is a federal offense. Just gonna let you know that. Technically, I think. I know it's against the law. I just don't know if it's a federal offense or not. I think it's a federal offense. So don't do it in the United States. Because if you didn't know, the post office had its own police force, known as the postal inspectors, and they don't joke at all. Oh, I guess if you also live in Canada, you've seen the drum and long life vehicle. I think. Although Canada Post has probably already gotten rid of the LLV. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, I think it has. But you know. Anyway, enough about my job. Yeah, I think we'll cut it around 8 today. So pretty much when I'm done eating. Hmm. But yeah, the only issue I will say is that I do have to do maintenance on my own vehicle, and I'm probably on average putting a good like 70, 75 miles on it every day, which is a lot. Yeah. I had to replace brakes, and I think I'm going to have to replace the motor here pretty soon, which is not going to be fun. Because the vehicle I have already has almost 220,000 miles on it. Hmm. Anyway, I'm getting into a rabbit hole again. But yeah, it's very annoying, especially when you have to do your own maintenance. Only because like you tend to go through an oil change. You tend to have to change the oil roughly once a month. Brakes pretty much need to be replaced almost every 6 months, and it's only a matter of time before the motor just gives out. I had to replace the starter in my vehicle. And the battery. Battery was looking a bit swollen. So, not good. Especially for a car battery. I think dirt and grime just got on it. Because the routes that we have a lot of dirt roads. So, it gets very dirty. And I tend to leave the... It's also a right-hand drive vehicle, which... If you're trying to find a right-hand drive vehicle in the United States, it's either you buy something from someone or you go to an import place and buy a 25-year-old vehicle from Japan. Your only options. It's pretty much a used vehicle. I don't even think there's any way for you to get a new right-hand drive vehicle right now. I think Jeep might sell right-hand drive vehicles, but I think you have to like go to the dealership and ask them specifically, this is the vehicle I want, but I want it in right-hand drive. I could be wrong. I don't know. Google says yes, but Google's not always right. I hope everyone's remembered to eat something. And drink water if you haven't already. This is the streamer reminding the viewers. 3 a.m. my time. You should go to bed. Ah. Lawrence, I completely forgot you live across the pond. I always think that you don't, and then you tell me the time, and I'm like, oh, right. You live, like, you're like, what is that, 5 hours? No. 7 hours ahead? I keep forgetting that. I keep forgetting that you live almost on the complete opposite side of the world. Because I live on the east coast of the United States. Actually, I don't know if you guys have daylight time or not, because I'm still on daylight time. We're about to go back to standard time here in November. I don't know if if the place you live has actually gotten rid of it yet, but I know a lot of places are trying to get rid of daylight savings time. Because in my honest opinion, it's an annoying thing. Having to change your clock every 4 to 8 months. Or 8 months. Because the issue is that normal time only lasts for 4 months. 3 months. 4 months. Late shift on graveyard, so in a way it's late, but also not. Well, if let's say if you work the night shift, I don't know about saving the daylight savings time or all that stuff. Daylight savings time, I think, is still primarily in the U.S. Uh, all states but Arizona use it. Um, so in the springtime, we spring forward an hour, and in the fall, we fall back. So in spring, we fall forward. Probably not. But it was supposedly in place during World War II, I think. I don't know. There's probably a video on it that would explain it better than I do. But it's an old way for the U.S. to get more daylight hours when and stuff like that. But the only issue is that it was meant to like save on electricity. I think it was, and now it kind of doesn't. And people have done studies, and they state that every time that they change hours, there's generally a correlation with more wrecks with cars due to sleep deprivation. Or the change in schedule, pretty much. So I'll actually be falling back an hour in November. Let me go to Wikipedia and see what they have to say about daylight savings time. Hmm. Hmm. So it was during industrialization, it seems. Yeah. It was, I guess it was meant to save on coal. Yeah, I guess it was meant to save on coal, but we don't use we don't use coal to burn our home to heat our homes anymore. But now we're looking to get rid of it. I don't know. It's that weird thing where I actually would like them just to get rid of it because at this point it's honestly more trouble than it's worth. Because I think technically the rationalization was it was supposed to help farmers, but the extra hour really doesn't help them because the cows are going to eat when the cows are going to eat and stuff like that. But it's shown to be kind of inconvenience. Hmm. Anyway, that's just Wikipedia for you. But yeah, pretty much you'll probably be seeing like a bunch of things on social media being like, don't forget to change your clocks by an hour or stuff like that. So, and it's mostly in the US and probably some of Europe. I believe some parts of Europe have actually no longer use daylight savings time, and they're either on just one time specifically, because they've just passed it. Although, for a reminder, like I know geography isn't the best for everybody, but remember that the United States covers 3 time zones, 4 time zones. Well, 5 technically. Yeah. Yeah. We call it daylight savings time. I don't know why we call it daylight savings time. Don't ask me why we call it daylight savings time. But right now we're on effectively summertime. And we're on summertime until like late into fall. And then we go back into summertime early in spring. So we get like 8 hours of, or 8 months of like summertime and then 4 months of wintertime. Don't ask me why. Should be 6 and 6. Should be 6 and 6, but I don't know. Because the issue is that it's going to take me forever to get back used to wintertime, and then once I'm used to wintertime, I'm then going to go back. Yeah, we're going to immediately go back to summertime. So different terminology, same thing. It still sucks. I know many places are looking to probably get rid of daylight savings time or summertime or wintertime. The changing of the hour kind of situation. Because honestly, with the day and age and technology, we really don't need it anymore. I am still eating, if you're wondering. I know we're just discussing things. Real life stuff. Where am I going? Yeah, we might call it here pretty soon. Whoops. Normally I'm gonna try to go for 5 hours each day when I'm usually work, but we might go a little over. Well, we might usually go under than over more times than not, only because exhaustion is real. And exhaustion sucks. As well, if I don't really have much to really talk about, that's the main issue. But right now, dang it. I'm making a mess with my food. Okay, now I gotta wash this. Oh well. I'm making a complete mess of myself right now. And I am still wearing my frickin' badge. Which I should not be wearing. I gotta wear a badge for work. It just hangs there, so I don't really notice it. Honestly, I should go put it in the vehicle that I drive for work, but oh well. Okay. Alrighty. Well, I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Although one, I'm gonna turn that off. Although one thing that I will say that's weird is that I'm gonna get back into this, and then at some point, I'm just not gonna be able to stream again until for like probably like 6 months to a year because of construction that's gonna be happening. So that's gonna be fun. I just can't. I just can't catch a break when it comes to streaming anymore. Uh, well, first it was school, then work became more of an issue, and now work's no longer being a major issue, but it's going to be one of those like, uh, yeah, it's probably not going to happen for another like 6 months, but still, it's like going to be a good 6 months of like streaming, and then nothing for like 6 months to a year, unless I can like set up my the house that I live in. um. So yeah. um. We need to expand the house because it's a bit small and it'll fix some problems that we're having. So, because I'm right now, my setup is in a completely separate building. So, and that's the minor issue that we're having. So, instead of just being in the actual house, I'm in a separate building. It's nice and convenient, but this building isn't really uh it's weatherproof, but it's not like it's insulated, but it's not fully insulated. The doors are it's more like a barn kind of setup, which is the only issue. So it's why during the winter times I try to you'll if you're not careful if I'm not careful I could actually it gets quite cold if I don't have the heater on. But luckily I won't have to worry about that. Yeah, it's usable, not comfortable. The issue is that in order for it to be I needed to be comfortable in order for me to stream long periods of time. So let's go ahead and get some things back up and running. That one. Let's actually see if the yeah. Only issue with it is I need to figure out how to get the movement to be like be fully grid based, but that's going to require a bit of fine tuning the size of everything and all that and figuring out it's effectively I'm going to have to use the grid. I'm going to have to make a grid and use a grid setup to see how I'm going to do it. And I might have to do something that like applies a consistent speed or just moves the translation. Maybe. I'm not 100% certain. If I want to get it to work how I want it to. Oh, wow. Apparently you can actually turn around if you're holding the button. Well, that's an interesting thing to know. That's a bug I wasn't expecting to actually find. Because you're not supposed to be able to turn around. But I guess because everything's set to... Well, I guess... I guess we have a separate flag. It gets turned on as soon as we push a key. And stays on until... Never. That could work. That would keep that issue of turning around. That would fix that issue of being able to hold down the button and turn around when you hit a wall. You know? Wonder if there's a way for me to daze. Kind of trying to think of how Snake was made, and Snake was made like because the movement's based off of Snake. If you haven't really noticed, it's based off of the game Snake from like the old school when you had old school flip phones, and that was like the only game that your flip phone came with, or it was like $2. I don't remember, but hmm. Because what happens is your velocity ends up equaling y, or 0 for the singular frame that you're able to hold the button down. And is action pressed technically allows you to do that without. There's probably a way for me to delay it. Delay the input by a couple of milliseconds, which would probably fix that problem. I don't know how I would fix that problem. It's probably a different thing that I could probably do a different flag that would need to be set to false. No? No, because if it's set to true, it doesn't matter. Dang. I'm trying to fix the bug. There's a bug that I have right now that if you hold down the button and you run into a wall, you can turn around. I don't think there's a way for me to disable the input. Oh, I know how to disable that. Hang on. It's that. It's that one. It's that version of the code. So the difference between is action press is that it counts every single frame that you're holding on the button. If action is just pressed, it only counts the when it is pressed, which means that it's frame perfect now. Yeah, it's now frame perfect, which I don't actually even know what the game runs at. It seems to be really high because I have a 3070. So the frame rate is probably stupidly high. Is there a way for me to like keep the frame rate from going any higher? Is it rendering? No. It's probably a way. Oh, 60 FPS, which is updates per second. So it's a 60 FPS. So it's a 1/60th of a second, effectively, is what you need in order to get that working. The only issue is that I really need to figure out what how to get some of that stuff working as intended. Because I need it to be more grid-based in the movement, which means I might have to just do, instead of doing a consistent thing, it is every other, I'd have to set it up to where, like, every other frame or every other input, it does that. Which would make it a little bit easier to control and to do, like, the tight turns. I have to figure out how to do it, though. Because that's the thing. Is that I need it to be a consistent speed. Where the speed is easily detectable. Yeah. I think it might also be the window size is just too small for the size of character. It might also be the character size. The character size might also need to be bigger. Or it might be that I need to shrink the collision shape to be a little bit smaller to make it a little bit nicer. But I don't know. I don't know yet. This is a weird moment where I'm not 100% certain exactly what the tweaking is to make it work. But that's what I have it set up to. Hmm. And all of this is literally just vector math. Even though technically it's just y and x vector, which is just left and right and up and down. And this is more of like a generalization of how this movement mechanic works. It's just I had the idea of doing it this way, and I might be able to do it a different way where instead of like we actually have snake, we actually keep this. But I might. So I might be able to instead change it to where you teleport to the other side. That might require a little bit of. That's going to require some signals. I don't know which signals to use. Yeah. I mean, this technically would be a much harder version of the game. It's just that without the like trails to see exactly, because I probably could just use the same color and see how I can get the shapes to fall. It would have to be the thing of I'd have to get the shapes to follow the one preceding it exactly the same way, and that might just be the issue. And there might be a way to do it easily. It's just that oh, if you're wondering, right now it's just set to if you run into a wall, it closes the game. It closes the window. Mainly because that's the easiest way to do this. Because I don't know how to do it any other way. Mainly because I still don't know how to make menus. Because I really haven't like tested buttons and all that stuff yet. And UI. I haven't really done UI work yet. I'm mainly just confused on how I'm going to actually do this because I could set it up to be kind of exactly like Snake, or I could set it up to where the movement mechanics are the exact same, but instead of... Could have it set up to where random enemies spawn and you just have to dodge the enemies. We could do it that way. That one would be a more unique take on the Snake gameplay. Probably someone's already done it before, but I don't know what I would do. I guess it would be kind of like you're trying to avoid touching the enemies, and after a certain time, the enemies do despawn, but it takes a while. And every, like, 10 seconds, a new enemy spawns. And after every 30-second, well, it had to be a variable between like it had to be a variable number or a number that gets shorter or longer each new enemy because there has to be an end state at some point. I think if we do the random spawning, I'd have to remember how to do random spawning. It's gonna take a while for me to remember. I might have to actually look at the first 2D game because that one might give me some ideas on how to do that. Because right now I have no clue. I have no clue how I'm gonna do it. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that's going to require me figuring out how to get the... Because honestly, it's just going to be enemies just spawn and just sit there and then despawn after a while. I don't know if I would do it like 30 seconds. I probably would do it like... You know what? I might know how to do it, and it is... We have another collision circle. We have a radius around the player where they do spawn. Because that would at least make sure that you don't have an enemy spawn directly on top of you. Which is an area that runs along that is considered a no spawn zone. I'm making this more complicated than I need it to be. I think first I need to get the spawning mechanics to work before I do anything else. Yeah, I'm going to get the spawning mechanics working before I do anything else, because if I don't get the spawning mechanics working, it really does not matter what other ideas I have. I would just need the spawning mechanics to work. And the only way to tell if that spawning mechanic is actually working is I'd have to do it frame by frame, which would take forever because it's 60 frames per second to make sure that it's actually not spawning in the right location. Actually, I'm kind of curious about something. Is there any other way for me to see other stuff? No sound. We don't need sound. So we do this. Okay, so that's just the 2D, and it does not take input. This takes input. Although once we start doing input, we can't stop. So that's not gonna work. Well, I guess I could just let it sit there. Well, I could I could test by letting it sit there and then seeing if any enemies spawn within that radius around the player. Hmm. 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 Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see that at some point. Might take a while. Might take a while for me to get that done. I don't know yet. We'll have to. Well, I'll have to actually go through and check things because either I get it working and it works fine, or it's not going to work at all, which could be a problem. Yeah, it could be a problem. I don't know. It's a weird one. It's a very weird one. Hmm. Anyway, I'm actually getting quite tired. I have worked all day today. So, and yes, I know my working is not the same as everyone else's, but I have been literally driving. I drove for literally like 8 hours, or not 8 hours, but like 6 hours today. It was not fun. So I'm gonna find somebody to raid on Twitch. Where's my Twitch? Where's my Twitch? I'm going to find somebody to raid. Who have I not raided in like forever? Well, I guess I could just raid anybody since I haven't raided anybody in forever. I'm actually following quite a few people. I wonder. Hmm. Quite a few people that I would like to raid, but I'm not 100% certain if. Oh. Extreme's live. I'm gonna raid Extreme. I haven't raided him in a while. He's playing Dead by Daylight. Or DVD. I don't actually remember Dead by Daylight. One of those games that I usually don't play. But anyway, thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you guys later.